Bruh.
Okay, let's move on.
Sorry, I was taking my little nap and I all of a sudden had the urge to make a video about how to be a YouTuber. So that's new, especially since I am nowhere near any of the top creator subscriber counts, but you clicked on this video for a reason, so let me give you information that I wish I knew before starting a channel. First off, let's talk about creating and growing a channel. Pretty much every YouTuber you're probably gonna meet is gonna tell you, wow, I can make money off this thing. I thought I could just do it for fun. And then as time progressed and YouTubers grown more ignorant and more money hungry, all they did was be rich celebrities. Which, if you're trying to hop on this platform to make money, you're going to flop. If you don't have the passion for video editing, for photography, for storytelling, for entertaining people or giving people the creative value that everyone on this platform needs, you're most likely not gonna grow to be Mr. Beast or Logan Paul or Emma Chamberlain. It's just most likely not gonna happen. For me personally, I started a YouTube channel for the creative outlook on video editing, and I wouldn't start on YouTube any other way. However, I don't want to stress that YouTube isn't this fun, glamorous job, because it is. You get a lot more benefits than you would if you were working, let's say, a 9-to-5 job. And I know this next tip is gonna sound so arrogant and so self-absorbed. You gotta self-plug yourself. I'm sorry. It's gonna irritate your friends. It's gonna irritate all your followers on your Instagram and Snapchat, but self-plug yourself. Cause at the end of the day, you need people to follow you. And let's be real here. Let's be real. Even if they're gonna possibly make fun of you because you have a channel, most likely if they see it posted on your story, they're gonna click on your link in your bio out of curiosity. And that's going to boost your first video's views and engagement in the algorithm, helping you to gain some few subscribers before starting your channel. Giving y'all some tips. I hope your notebook is out. Is your notebook out?
You have 5 seconds to get your notebook. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you did, give yourself a pat on the back. So once you've started adding a couple of friends to your subscriber list, I would definitely now try to really think about what type of content you want for your first video. Your first 5 or perhaps 10 videos are not going to be cinematic masterpieces. So you really need to work on what type of genre you want to do and plan out your videos in advance. You don't want to just go up to the camera and become flustered and don't know what to say. People will click out of that video within probably the first 30 seconds. Because I don't even want to hear people saying that people's attention spans are the size of a goldfish. According to one of my favorite YouTubers, KDU, they have the attention spans of goldfish fetuses.
Because the average viewer's attention span is not even of a goldfish anymore, okay? That phrase of attention span of a goldfish, I feel like that was coined in like 1930 or something. With the introduction of social media and especially TikTok, the average viewer has the attention span of like an unborn goldfish fetus.
Or a hamster.
Now, let's talk about branding. This is another thing that people don't really talk about here on YouTube. They basically say,
have pretty thumbnails, have eye-catching thumbnails, have a wowing channel banner, have an amazing intro.
but do they actually go in depth and show you the exact process of having each of these 4 things that they blatantly talk about in every one of their little YouTuber tip videos? We don't even need to get into that. For thumbnails, there are a lot of ways for you to do it. Many apps in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store that can help you design your little channel banner. Now, dependent on the type of channel you have, that's gonna vary. Like if you're a lifestyle channel, you kind of want to have that aesthetic slice of life, pleasing look to your channel. Warm colors, dark colors that kind of match each other is one way to really make your thumbnail pop. Also having text or adding little art drawings on it is also something that you can add as well. I feel like for the beginner users, I highly recommend getting Canva. Canva is really easy to use. They have YouTube channel banners already created. They already have little platforms on there. All you have to do is like add your photo on there, add some text on there, and you got a channel banner. You got a thumbnail. Easy, super easy to use, and you don't even have to spend a whole bunch of time doing it. That's how I learned to do most of my thumbnails on YouTube. Now, heading into intros, I truly believe that intros are the most important part of your videos because it's literally the first part after your thumbnail that someone's gonna look at you. So I would want to make your intro very engaging and make it your own. You don't want to have a very boring, self-promoting style to your intro. Like if you have those screens where you have your name and then the subscribe button.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Trust me, it doesn't really work. It just makes you sound very self-absorbed and not like a genuine human being. So I would avoid using intros as that. A lot of my intros, you probably can already tell, I like to add a little self-promo to the video of what I'm doing, and then I add a little 30-second to 60-second integration of just introducing the topic, and then I head on straight to the video. But above all that, there's tons of different tutorials that you can find on YouTube. I'll link some of them in the description below, some of the ones that I found really helpful for me to start learning, and I'll also link down some YouTubers that kind of inspired my editing style and how I kind of made my thumbnails come to life in my intros. Now let's move on to editing. This is probably the hardest part and the most dreaded part about making a video. And you really can't rush it because if you want the video to turn out well, if you want it to look good, you have to take your time and edit the video and make it something for someone to watch. It's very, very important that you understand that your viewer has the attention span of a hamster. So if your video isn't highly edited and it doesn't have a reason for that viewer to stay, they're gonna click off of it. I'm gonna show you guys a few of my little trademarks for editing, so VoiceOver K, take it over. YOLO, editing and VoiceOver K is here. So I'm going to be showing you guys some of the process of how I edit through Final Cut Pro. So if you're a Final Cut user, I would tune in. If you're not, I would still watch because it gives you a ton of tips even if you use iMovie, Adobe Premiere, or any other editing software. So first off, the first thing I'm going to do is wait for my clip to upload from my SD card, and now I'm going to be showing you how I get music. So basically you can download it on YouTube MP3, and you basically go to your download folder. If you have a MacBook, it'll go straight to your iTunes account. And now I'm going to show you how I import text, which you press Ctrl-T and it'll pop up right on the screen. And then I'm going to show you how to click onto text and start typing on it, and fonts and everything that I use for that matter. So you want to go to the icon that has like the 5 little lines, and then you can start typing in the titles that you want, and then the font, spacing, tracking, everything like that is right down below. So the font that I typically use is Baskerville, which is a spicier version of Times New Roman. Another font that I really use is Futura, which I really like that one as well. I feel like every aesthetic YouTuber uses Futura. So now after I have kind of decided on picking out the font that I want, I now kind of like to change the size, then I'll change the tracking to give it that little aesthetic finish. And then sometimes if I'm feeling really happy about it, I'll start rotating it, kind of giving it that little bit of shape and texture onto my text. So basically the rotation figures, there's X-axis, the Y-axis, and the Z-line, and you can kind of change it to whatever you want. Next, you can change the face of it, which will just change the color. I like using the color wheel because it's really nice to see everything visually. And I really like using blue and green specifically because I feel like it just matches my whole entire channel. So this is the camera I use. I use the Canon 800D or Canon Rebel T7i, and the hard drive I use is a WD Element. All of my thumbnails and hand-drawn animations are done through Procreate on my iPad, and all I do is just write it on 2 different layers, and then I export each different layer and reduce the opacity of the first layer, and then I will import it over to my computer and airdrop it. And then I'll change the frame rate to however I want, and that's kind of how I do all my stop motion animations. Now I'm going to show you guys how to add drop shadows. So what I do is I make the opacity to 100 because I feel like it gives it that faded look, and then I give it the distance just so it kind of looks like it's falling off of each other as it's shadowing itself. Usually I just put it on a little bit to add like a little bit of a border outside of it, but it's how you want to do it. First off, I'm going to show you guys how to import music specifically. So once you do, you're just going to grab it and then place it right under the clip. You can also fade it in and fade it out by pressing modify, and then it'll say adjust audio fades, and that's how I usually do all my fades. Sorry I didn't show it. I kind of was moving as fast as I can so it wouldn't be too boring. And now I'm going to show you guys how I do the famous rough cut, where I add in the sound to make it a little bit louder, and I get rid of the million likes I say as a freaking valley boy. I don't know why I do this. Why do I talk like that? Next is color grading. I like using the color wheels in Final Cut because it's really nice to see everything visually, and this is where I turn up the saturation because I do be looking pale, and turn up the exposure to give me more light. Now I'm going to show you guys how I do my zoom in effects and how I do my Ken burns. So first off, when I do my zoom in effects, I just go to the crop image and then I crop it down to whatever I want. This was my hand where I wanted to say flop, and after that I'll play it back to see how I want it. And for Ken burns, what I specifically do is I'll put the Ken burn in a specific location. So if I wanted to go to the side, I'll put the start location like on the left or the right, and then the other one on the opposite side where it will end. You can ease it in, ease it out, or make it fast or dramatic. All you have to do is press the control key. Most of my channel, I like to make it eased because I don't really like to zoom in fast and forward unless I'm in like a super dramatic scene. And that's how I pretty much do all of my Ken burns. Screen, and then you'll go to keying and press keyer, drag it onto the green screen, which will therefore make it transparent because it'll match the green on top of the green screen. Now back to the regular broadcast. Ooh, copyright. Yes, it's a serious problem. YouTube is getting very, very, very strict on their copyright policy, and it is downright frustrating. It can be really hard to find music, but music is probably one of the most important parts of your video because I feel like you can be extremely unique in your editing style dependent on the music that you use. For me, my signature music marks, I use Louisong, Akasora, Chill Hop, and Trademark and Copyrights, and I get this off of a site called Bandcamp. I always link my music down in the description, so check them out. They make really great music. If you guys kind of know my signature style, it's very much combining my favorite YouTubers and smushing them together. I edit a lot like Lin Trong, edit a little bit like Katie Yu, Dustin Vong. I kind of like to edit like them because their editing style is very slice of life, aesthetically pleasing, visually spectacular. I just love the way that they edit and present themselves, and I really truly feel that you need to find a YouTuber that is what you want to be and edit like them, and then slowly as you get into the YouTube process, add little trademarks to make it your own so you don't get messages like, oh, you edit like this person, oh, you remind me of this person, and you don't have your own personality because you gotta treat YouTube like a business. In terms of non-copyrighted music specifically, there are tons of different music platforms you can use. There is SoundCloud, which a lot of users use. There's Thematic. Thematic is especially geared for content creators, but the search system for Thematic is a little bit dated, so you really do have to like look for the genre and look for the song. You have to do a lot of soul searching, and then also on SoundCloud it's pretty much the same thing. You have to basically scroll through the music rabbit hole and try to find something that actually makes you want to put it in your video. And there's also another platform called Epidemic Sound. It is a subscription-based service, so it's not free, so I would recommend using Thematic and SoundCloud and Bandcamp first before you even try to go onto Epidemic Sound, because you don't want to be paying any more money for this channel if you don't know if you're going to be doing this long term. And finally, let us talk about the motivation of why you want to be a YouTuber. For me personally, I started my YouTube channel during the course of quarantine. Quarantine was really when I was like, hey, why not start a channel? I feel like it'd be fun, it'd be unique, it'd be cool, and it would be something that I could add on my future resume, being like, I know how to edit videos, I know how to do photography, I know how to do stop motion animations. And I feel like you should really be using YouTube as a resume builder, not necessarily to become rich or famous, because at the end of the day, the chance of you getting famous off of YouTube is the percentage of me never getting a milkshake at Oprah's again.
Very unlikely.
If you start out on YouTube and you enjoy what you're doing, you pour in everything into it, and you enjoy the entire aspect of filming and editing, you'll be successful. I know that it's definitely hard, but I've been through it. I'm a small YouTuber myself. For you small YouTubers, I totally understand because I'm one as well. And it can get very hard when you post a video and it literally gets no views, no engagement, nothing. It's probably one of the most worst feelings in the world, and you enter a different state of depression. Alrighty. That's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I hope what you learned from this video is start a YouTube channel. But do it. If this pandemic has taught us anything, is that you literally can do anything. I'll see y'all in my next one.